welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan. I love everything book related. I'm antisocial and I just love staying home, reading and doing all things book related. So if you enjoy things like that, definitely stick around for this video and consider subscribing to my channel. It would mean a lot to me. All right, so today I'm filming my top 10 reads of 2025. 2025 is officially over. Today's actually January 4th of 2026, which is really crazy to say, but I had so many good reads in 2025. I feel like I truly discovered my reading taste in 2025, and I feel like 2025 was where I kind of had a more clear perspective of what I liked and was able to jump into the books that I like and focus more on, like I said, the genres that I like, the themes that I like in books, different authors that I like, and really focus on books that I knew that I would enjoy. Because of that, I feel like 2025 brought me some of my favorite reads of my entire life. So I'm really excited to share these with you. I am not putting these books in any order. I'm not saying like this is my #1 book, this is my #2 book, anything like that. This is just my top 10, like my 10 favorite reads of the entire year. I don't think I could manage to put these in order from like 10th place to first place. It's just like would be impossible for me. So these are just my top 10, no particular order. I may still do like a top 25 of 2025, but I really just want to focus on these top 10 books because they were very easy for me to choose. Like these are the books that when I think of the books that I've loved this year that I'm always thinking about, that just like have stuck with me, these are the books that come to my mind automatically. I didn't have to like dig for them. They stick out to me. I'm gonna start off with giving some honorable mentions. So I didn't put these books in my top 10 because I just feel like these are books that everyone loves. I don't know. They're just books that I feel like were a rite of passage for me to read and I knew I was gonna love, and it kind of, if I include them in my top 10, they're gonna take away from other books that maybe aren't as well known or not as hyped up. Top 10, I really wanted to include some books that maybe aren't on your radar and are just some new books or new authors that maybe you could check out. So I have 3 honorable mentions. One is obviously Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed. I mean, I feel like we know, if you're a book girly, you know the hype between this show and this book. This was absolute 6-star read for me this year. I love it so much. It's fueled my MM journey and how much I love MM romance. And I want to definitely read more MM romance in 2026. But yeah, I couldn't not put this in my top reads of the year. But like I said, I just feel like everyone loves this book. Everyone knows about this book, so it was kind of like an obvious one. The other books that I want to talk about is the entire Empyrean series, especially Onyx Storm. So I read Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and Onyx Storm all in January of 2025. And this is a god tier series for me. All these books are 6-star reads for me. I loved Onyx Storm, especially when it came out in, I think it was January of 2025. But once again, I just feel like these are books that everyone loves and everyone knows about. So yeah, but I had to mention them because these are books that are probably my favorite, if not my favorite series of all time, one of my favorite series of all time. And then last but not least, my honorable mention is the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I read this in April 2025. It's a series that I was wanting to read for a while and I just kept putting it off because I knew I was going to love it. And sometimes when there's something I know I'm going to love, I put it off for a while for some reason. So yeah, this is a series I put off for a while, but ultimately I love it. I feel like everyone loves Throne of Glass. Very widely known, very well known, and yeah, 6-star god tier series for me. These characters and this story is in my brain and in my soul always. So #1 is a book that I read on my Kindle because it is a fanfic, and that is Manacled by Sen Yu. This is a Dramini fanfic. I feel like this is probably the most popular Dramini fanfic, and then this author took this story, changed it, changed the characters. I don't know how much she changed about it, but I know she changed it, traditionally published it into Alchemized this year, which I have yet to read, but I did read Manacled in 2025 on my Kindle as a birthday present to myself in August, and I absolutely loved it. This is a 6-star God tier read for me. This is like absolute torture. Like, this whole book is just, it's very, very dark. It's very Handmaid's Tale-esque. It's very, I don't know how to explain it, torturous. I mean, confusing, heartbreaking. You don't know how to feel about certain characters, and then once you do know how to feel about them, it's almost like too late. Not too late, but if you've read this book, you know what I mean. It's completely changed my perspective on Draco Malfoy. Like, I really want to go back and rewatch all of the Harry Potter movies with now my feelings that I have towards Draco since reading this book. And I know it's different. It's, you know, it's a fanfic world. It's not the same Draco like from Harry Potter, but I don't know. I just like have such a love for Draco Malfoy now, and I feel so much empathy towards him. And yeah, I think he's like one of my favorite characters from a book now, the Draco in Manacled. And yeah, this book is just like slow torture. It's like dramatic, torturous love story that just, and it almost like never gets better. Like, you keep like, okay, where's the happy ending? And there is kind of a happy ending, but it's also like not a traditional happy ending. And the last page of this book is literally a picture, and it's like 3 sentences, and it will absolutely make you bawl your eyes out. I was crying so hard for like 10 minutes straight, and those last 3 lines in this book like are ingrained in my brain forever. This is just a story of how you can be perceived a certain way. You can be perceived as the bad guy, as the villain, and kind of no matter what you do, and no matter what you sacrifice, and no matter how much you love someone or love people, or no matter what you do in the background to be a good person and to sacrifice for the people you love, people will still see you as a bad person. People will still see you as a villain. And you kind of just have to accept that and be like, if you are happy in your own life and the people that really matter to you and love you, if they love you and know you're a good person, you kind of just have to accept that and be happy and content with that. As unfair and traumatic and cruel as that may be, and how infuriating that is throughout the book. But yeah, this is just such a good story. It's so intricate, so detailed. The world, the magic system, everything about it is so insanely just like intelligent and intricate and detailed, and I just love it. And if you are able to read this book, I don't know if it's still available, but if there's some way to like download this, or a friend can send it to you or something, I highly recommend reading this. And if not, then read Alchemized, because I'm pretty sure it's very similar, and I am very excited to read Alchemized in 2026. I want to talk about Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wong. This is my first M.L. Wong book that I've read. I went into this book for some reason. I thought it was about vampires. I don't know why. I've heard so much about this book throughout the past couple years since becoming a reader, and people say like it's God tier. They love it. It's a lot of people's favorite book of the year when they do read it. And I don't know why I thought it was about vampires for some reason. It is not. It is about a magical system, and it's highly political. It is a very beautiful and touching and necessary story. It touches on the political climate in this fantasy world, but it has a lot of parallels to our political climate in the real world. And it just is a story that really makes you think about your impact on the world, and how maybe you accept things about the world or about your life or about your way of living that maybe you shouldn't accept. Maybe you should do a little bit of research to make sure about your impact on the world, and if the things that you're doing and the things that you accept in the world really align with your moral values. Because I think a lot of times we can just accept things because they're easy and it's convenient and it keeps our life easy, and we don't think about how it may affect the world or other people or things behind the scenes. And this story really focuses on that, and focuses on how your way of life, just because it's convenient to you and, you know, it's just easier to go along with it and do, you know, go along with your life, doesn't mean that you're not impacting the people behind the scenes in a negative way. And if you find out that you are, like, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it if you find out that your way of life is negatively impacting others, other people, the world, your moral compass. Like, what would you do about it? This is a very touching and necessary story, and I love the message in it. I love the ending. It is very sad at parts, but I think the ending is beautiful and touching, and yeah, I just don't even have the words to describe this book because it's just so like intelligent and unique and really well thought out. I mean, this is like, when I was reading it, I was like, oh, this is a piece of literature. Like, this is not like smutty romance. This isn't like a goofy fun time, which those books are very necessary, but this is like a true piece of literature. And yeah, I don't know. I just love it. 6-star, God tier. This will be in my brain forever. Then we're going to take a complete 180. Wait, is it 180 or 360? A complete 360 and talk about a very smutty, goofy, unhinged, fun, silly, crazy, insane time of a book, which is Kiss of the Basilisk by Lindsay Straub. The book has an insane amount of 1-star ratings on Goodreads, and I am in fact rating it 6 stars. Does that mean I need a lobotomy? It might. Does that mean there's something mentally wrong with me? It might. Am I sorry? No. I love this book so much. It is the most insane, unhinged, crazy time of a book that you could ever possibly have. It's like this author said, okay, I'm gonna write about like a human girl and a snake shifter, a basilisk snake shifter, and their sexual tension and their relationship, and I'm going to just put the like anything crazy that comes to my mind, I'm gonna put it in this book. Any insane thing that could possibly happen, I'm gonna put it in this book. I just love books that make me go like, what am I reading? Like, what in God's name am I reading? And this is that kind of book. This book is just insane, but for me, it captured my attention right away. Like, from page like 3, I was like, whoa, oh my gosh, like, what is happening? Crazy things are happening on every page. It sucks you in. I was not bored for a single second of this book, and I just love it. And it's a story that's so crazy that it like, I don't know how it couldn't stay in your brain. And for me, that makes a good book because it stays with me and it left an impression with me. And it's just a crazy, insane, unhinged time. And if you're looking for that, then I would definitely recommend this book. Then we have Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This is my first ever sci-fi book ever. I did an immersive read of this book. So I read it physically while listening to the dramatized audiobook, and that is an experience like no other. I have never had the type of reading experience as I did with this book while reading and listening to that dramatized audiobook. It is just insane. This book is extremely unique. I've never read anything like it. It is set on Mars. It's in a sci-fi world. Once again, this is another book that's like heavily political, and it makes you think about kind of what you would do in these certain situations. Like, are you a person that will kind of stand up for what's right? Would you just accept your position in society? Would you fight for your friends and family and society and the people you love to be treated better? Would you dig and try to figure out what, you know, like the higher ups are doing if you feel that things are suspicious? So yeah, this is definitely a book that once again kind of makes you question your morals and question what you would do in this type of society. And it does have, you know, that political intrigue of like, okay, I know that they're on Mars and this is like a fantasy world, but this kind of has a lot of crossover to our world as well, and it just really makes you think. And yeah, there's a lot of characters in here. It can be a little confusing. At least for me, it was a little confusing. Just Google it and then I could kind of figure out from there like certain questions I had. But yeah, I just love this book so much. I'm very excited to continue the series. I've only read this so far, but I get the hype. I really do get the hype. The next book I want to talk about is The Favorites by Layne Fargo. This is a book that I read in the beginning of the year, I think either in January or February of 2025. And oh my God, I think this is definitely one of the first books of the year that I read that I was like, this is one of my all-time new favorite books ever in life. This is a very toxic and dramatic romance, but also kind of like a character study as well. I would say this is kind of like Magnolia Parks meets Daisy Jones and the Six, but figure skating. And the characters and storyline in this story just feels so incredibly real. I literally had to Google these characters' names and like if this was based on real people, if they were real people. This story just feels so real. Like, it feels so incredibly real. It feels like you're reading about people's real lives. It feels like you're in their real lives with them. It is so dramatic. It is so toxic. It is so messy. It is so obsessive, so heart-wrenching. And I don't know. It's just, I could not stop reading this book. I flew through it. I think I read it in like 1 or 2 days. It is so addictive and good. And this is also a book that I would recommend to any type of reader. Like, no matter what genre you like, I would recommend this to you. I think lots of different types of readers would like this. I recommended this to my mom. She's a new reader. She only reads like Colleen Hoover and like Frida McFadden. And I think she'll really like this. I think someone who likes fantasy would like this. I think someone who likes regular romance, heartbreaking stories, dramatic, toxic. I would say if you don't like toxicity in your books, maybe not, because this is pretty dramatic and toxic. But other than that, I think this is a book that I would recommend to anyone, and I will recommend forever. It's so, so good. Then we have Kill Switch by Penelope Douglas. This is one of the books in the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. It is a dark romance series. And this is the story of Damon Torrance and Winter. In the first book in this series, Damon is the worst man to ever exist, literally. He is a very bad guy. I mean, all the men in these books are like mentally deranged, but he is probably the most deranged out of them all. And you really do not like him, especially in the first book. You really do not like him. I think in the books after that, you start to like him a little bit more because they give you little crumbs of why he is the way he is. And then when you get to his book, Kill Switch, it tells you the full story of why he is the way he is, why he makes certain decisions, what he went through in his life. And it is heartbreaking, insane. And I think this book made him 100% redeemable for me. I felt like it really changed my thoughts on him, and it made me love him so much. The way he loves Winter and the way their relationship forms and the emotional intimacy between them and the things they share, the way they love each other, I love it so much. To see a man who is so like traumatized and deranged and not always a good person turn into such like a loving and caring partner is really nice to see. And seeing in this book like the resolution of the friendship group and everything start to happen, I really loved that as well. And this book just made me feel for this character so bad. He feels so real to me. Like, Damon Torrance is one of my top 5 book boyfriends ever. I love him. I'll never stop thinking about this story. For a girl who was deathly afraid to read dark romance in the beginning of 2025, I sure do have a lot of dark romance books on my top 10 favorites of the year. So we have another dark romance, which is God of Malice by Rina Kent. This is part of the Legacy of the Gods series, which is another dark romance series. This is the first book, and I did not know what I was getting into. I heard that this book was crazy, insane, and it is. And I really don't know what it is about this book, but it has stayed with me since I read it. I can't even tell you exactly why. I know one thing is that I'm absolutely obsessed with Killian Carson, which is our MMC in the story. I just love him so much. But once again, I don't really know why. It's just a feeling. It's just a vibe. It's just an emotional attachment that I have to him. And I do really love the love story in here as well. And I love a man who has antisocial personality traits that is very soft and caring and loving towards the girl that he loves. But he's also like insane and deranged towards everyone else. And that is Killian Carson. and I love this book. Then we have a book that I think is highly underrated, and this is The Poisoner by Ivy Oilia. This is the first book that I've read from this author. I think she only has this out, but she has a few coming out in 2026. And this is a story about a woman who's a poisoner, poisons bad men, and then she comes across this vampire-like man, and she runs tests on him, and things get hot and sexy and steamy between him, and he is like a vampire, but he also stalks her and makes this like hunting prey noise with his mouth while he stalks her and preys on her, and it's really hot and sexy, and it's a good time. And I was like giggling and kicking my feet and like screaming and screeching while reading this book because of the spicy parts. Like I loved the spice in this book so much. I think it's kind of unique and fun and just like really dark and hot and sexy. And yeah, it's just, I don't even know. You just have to read this book. I think it is so underrated. I think it should be up there in terms of like spooky gothic books like Nocticadia. Like the romance and the spice is like, I feel like similar to Nocticadia. It just like gives me those same feelings, but definitely more like deranged and stalkerish and like vampire vibes. But yeah, this would be a really good read for spooky season, but also if you haven't read it yet, just read it right now because it's so good. This is a book I think about all the time. I love it, and I cannot wait to read everything that this author puts out ever in life. Then we have The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This is a romantasy book that at first, when I first read it, I think I gave it like 4.5 or 4.75 stars. And then as months went on, it's just a book that I'm always thinking about. So now it's like 6-star God tier because I'm just always thinking about the story. I'm always thinking about the characters. I think the story is so unique. I think our little sidekick Gargoyle is so funny. I think he's one of the best sidekick characters, animal characters written ever in any type of book. His presence made this book so fun, and I really loved how unique and interesting the magic system in this was. The plot was, I just loved the atmosphere. Like when you're reading this book, it is so like spooky and gothic. You just imagine like nights and fog, and like you're walking in like damp grass with a big white linen dress, and you have like a shroud over your eyes, and I don't know, it's just like so atmospheric. And I love the way that I felt while reading this book. I feel like if I think back to reading this book, like I can get those same feelings, and I can kind of feel the atmosphere that this book puts you in, and I just love it. I think this is a book that is well loved this year, and I think rightfully so. It is such a good romantasy, so unique, and I absolutely love our MMC. If you want to meet a knight who wears slutty eyeliner and he's just so, he's just everything. And the lines that he says, the lines are so good. Like the one-liners he has is amazing, and the one-liners our little gargoyle companion has are so funny and good as well. And this book is just like really good romantasy, but also witty, and I just loved it. Then last but not least, I'm going to talk about Insatiable by Leigh Rivers. I literally read this book the last week of December. Like I just finished it right before New Year's, and this is a new God tier series for me. The whole Edge of Darkness trilogy is 6 stars, God tier. I will say I think I liked the first book, Insatiable, the best, just because, I don't know, it just introduced me to the world, and I was so excited. And I love how like angsty and hot and heavy, and like not enemies to lovers, but like he hates her so much in this book, but also loves her and wants her so bad. And I just love like the push and pull in this book, and how like he acts like he hates her, but the second she's around, he like drops everything for her. And it's just everything. I love Cade Mitchell with my whole heart. Cade and Stacey like are in etched into my DNA now. Like as soon as I finished reading the series, I watched The Greatest Showman, and now because that's like their favorite, it's a big thing in the series, and I feel like I can never watch that again without thinking about this couple. Like there's just so many things, so many songs, so many scenes, so many things that I feel like I will connect to this series and always be thinking about. And also there's a playlist that goes with this series, and it's a really good playlist. Like I love Swim, I think it's called, is it called Swim or Swimming? I think it's called Swimming or Swim by Chase Atlantic. If you know that scene, the staircase scene, and that's, I love that song. I love that song. That scene is like etched in my brain. So yeah, this series is everything to me, and I'm so glad that I finally read it. I wanted to read it so badly, and I had the week off of work, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna binge this series, and I'm so glad I did. It's so addicting, and you just like, you have to read them back to back to back because you like have to know what's coming next. And yeah, I feel like these books like changed me as a person, but also they're very, very extremely dark. Very, very dark. So definitely check trigger warnings. Honestly, check trigger warnings with all the books I mentioned, but especially this one because these are very, very, very dark, but I love them. I love Cade Mitchell. And this is probably one of the first books that I've read in a long time where the FMC really stuck out to me. Like Stacy really stuck out to me and really has a spot in my heart. I'm always like loving our MMCs because I'm just like obsessed with them and they're just my book boyfriends, but Stacy is the first FMC in a while that like really stole a piece of my heart. So love her, love Cade, love these books, love Daddy Tobias, love all the characters, love Ewan. Like I just, yeah, traumatic but amazing. Okay guys, so those are my top 10 reads of 2025. I hope you enjoyed. If you made it to the end of this video, drop your favorite read of 2025 in the comments so I can know what you guys are liking. I can add some books to my TBR. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. It would mean a lot to me. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!